and our membership mixers and orientations, but we gotta love our mission statement. We are a network of successful realtors advancing women as business leaders in the industry and in the communities we serve. Awesome. Next slide, please. Okay, so without further ado, let's go. And I'm very excited to introduce Tammy Knoll. Tammy believes that her involvement and the influence of the Women's Council of Realtors has catapulted her career and success in the real estate industry. She has been named Realtor of the Year by her association twice and serves as the 2021 State Diversity Chair and also serves on the National Association of Realtors Diversity Committee. Tammy was the Women's Council State President in 2019 and was elected to the National Women's Council Executive Committee in 2019 for a 3-year term. Tammy still serves her local and state networks in Georgia and understands the members are the heartbeat of the Women's Council. And with no further ado, please let us give a Texas welcome to Tammy Knoll. Yay! If you could please stop screen share so that Tammy could go and pop her slides up, that would be fabulous. Thank you so much, Ty.
Okay, give me just one moment. Thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful introduction. I will tell you that Women's Council has catapulted my career to where I am today. It has everything to do with the growth and where I'm at in the industry. So, wow, the history of Women's Council. I've been asked to speak to you ladies today about the history. We are 83 years old. This is a 12-page example of history. I'm going to try to take 83 years and put it into 12 slides, which is going to be a little fast paced. And I'm going to mention some names and terminology that you may not remember because it's, of course, 83 years old. So if you ladies are ready, let's go ahead, and you'll get a copy of this slideshow at the end of this presentation. So you don't need to take pictures or try to save anything. I'm going to send it to Missy, and Missy will be able to send it to you guys. So is that fair? Great. Okay. Again, thank you, Missy, for allowing me to be here today with your members. It's truly an honor. And I want to say that in order for us to look where we're going, I think it's really important that we understand our past and where we're coming from. Because in order to continue to go to the future, we sometimes have to know what we did that worked and what we did that didn't work. So let's move on. Women were active in real estate long before we began to organize. We can thank our past colleagues in California who were among the first to create an official body of the women's real estate professionals. NAREB, which is what NAR used to be called, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, is now being called NAR. So you hear me say that a couple of times. First began to take notice of women in the industry in the 1920s. It would be several decades before local real estate boards were open to women. But the decision began with a panel debate in 1925 at a convention. Not surprisingly, all the panel members were men. In 1938, the president, Joseph Catherine, had been very impressed with the California Women's Division and encouraged the formation of a similar body at the national level. Mr. Catherine's recommendations must have been very well received because in 1938, the board approved the Women's Council of National Association of Real Estate Boards during the 1938 annual meeting. The first meeting of the group was held in Oak Park, Illinois. 37 ambitious women representing 9 states attended. The Women's Council has long been a strong voice in public policy and fair housing. We have an early advocacy in gender diversity in the industry, which still embodies the council's core values. While today our roles in advocacy are realized primarily through the support of NAR public policy. Our legislative advocacy efforts return benefits beyond just good policy. It spurred the growth of local councils. It was deemed essential to engage the members at the local level in order to achieve policy goals. In 1957 saw the creation of the National Affairs Committee at the Women's Council. In the 1960s, during the same period the Fair Housing Act was signed, the council held a legislative workshop for the purpose of teaching women how to become more politically active. Wow, has times changed. Here we have our very first vice president female of the women of the United States of America. So we have come a long way. In 2018, we will have celebrated our 50th anniversary of the Fair Housing Act. There were many important turning points in the history of Women's Council. This slide highlights just a few. Our beginning was quite modest. To avoid perception of rivalry with other organizations, an intentional structure was purposely kept simple. There were no bylaws and there were no recordings of the first meeting. The official local council was established in St. Louis in 1942. In 1943, the council launched its first publication called the Bulletin, the predecessor to our eConnect, which we have today, and also our Roadmap for Success, which all of our leaders receive via email. Now look at this. Dues were first assessed in 1945 at $3 per year. In 1957, the council dues were raised to $10. The 25th anniversary of the Women's Council was celebrated with a theme, Look for the Silver Lining. Membership had increased from 37 to 3,700. Wow, don't we want those numbers, Texas? I think so. In 1972, our name was changed to the current name, which is called the Women's Council of Realtors. At that time, dues were increased to $15. In 1957, membership was recorded at 12,000, having tripled in one decade. To support the growth of the council, a staff of 5 were placed in 1976 to manage the council's activities. That is what you would consider your national office, which is located in Chicago, Illinois. In 1980, we adopted our first mission statement and revised our state objectives. This year, we changed our bylaws to allow for formation of the local chapter without local boards of realtors approval. In 1982, the council roster, renamed Referral Roster, was included and included an expanded listing feature along with photos being added. In 1984, we saw the launch of the Leadership Training Graduate Professional Designation, expanding the family of the realtor designations. We launched our first annual Leadership Academy in 1998. Initially, only for local council president-elects were invited. However, state president-elects were included beginning in 2006. In 2003, the LTG designation was rebranded and is known as what it is today, the Performance Management Network, better known as PMN. Some things did you know, okay? In 1927, a group of women in the Pacific Northeast formed a group called the Realettes. This group briefly drew attention by NAR, prompting discussion about the role of women by NAR. There was no record of the first meeting due to a desire to keep low key and avoid being perceived as a rival for membership. This led to a long-term belief that the council was founded in 1939 at its second meeting in Los Angeles. Before dues were assessed the 1940s revenue was generated by selling cookbooks. This tradition continued until 1950s, with one notation of an annual cookbook generating $700 in revenue for the council. In the late 1940s, there was a debate within the council as to whether we have outlived our purpose. as women were now mainstream in the industry. Fortunately for us, our predecessors had the vision to see beyond simply ensuring women's access to the industry and to shift to the focus to the roles as leaders. The founding member, Laura Gorton, who was recently widowed, looking for a way to support her family and pay the mortgage, was strongly advised to stay out of real estate by her leading citizens of her town. Miss Gordon wisely ignored their advice, obtaining a license, opening her own agency in Glastonbury, Connecticut. She went on to serve as the National Council President in 1948 before retiring in 1952. The Chicago Real Estate Board, one of the most powerful boards in the country, refused women membership until 1950. The Columbus, Ohio Board did not admit women until 1961, believed to be the last board to do so, in spite of its statewide support in Ohio for the inclusion of women. Presidential council themes were very popular in the 60s. Up through relatively recent years. To maximize our national brand, we no longer incorporate themes, but there were some interesting ones that I wanted you to see. Through the open door, it's a statement worth making, give and gain through ideal exchange, our forward view in 72, women helping women, more, and where it all comes together, and go places with the Women's Council. Of course, these were themes that they used on the national then, but we don't use themes anymore. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Throughout our history, our brand has evolved along with our role. Our logo has changed 5 times since the introduction of the logo seen here in the 1960s. So where we are now today is the 21st century, the Women's Council Realtors. The world has changed greatly since 1938, and so has the Women's Council of Realtors. Today, women represent the majority, 62% of NAR members. Economic and social barriers for women in this industry have largely been erased, but the Women's Council remains a dynamic and evolving organization at all levels. Council events are designed to improve cutting-edge education and networking programs to build your business and leadership. We are the preeminent business leadership affiliate of NAR and the 12th largest women's professional organization in the US. We have 11,000 members in 250 chapters. These groups organize some 1,300 events and programs each year. Our group has the strongest chapter infrastructure of any NAR affiliate, and most are closely aligned with the activities of their local boards. While branding a women's organization, men are welcome and comprise 10% of our membership. Many men serve in local and state leadership roles. As our member grows, the council strives to broaden its base and appeal to members of other industry groups. We work to develop young business leaders to involve with today's membership and business needs. Our core strengths are what keeps us relevant and continue to move forward. We have seen and survived world wars, economic busts and booms, and yes, even a pandemic. The evolution of women in real estate continues. We choose not to be the women's right organization. Rather, we focus on training members to be effective leaders in the organization, in their local communities and elsewhere. The council generally aligns with NAR for advocacy, which allows us to stay focused on our core mission of leadership. We advocate for the development, leaders, and doing business. The council remains relevant because of the lack of women leaders in the industry and in our associations today. Council members amplify the highest standard of professionalism and success. We are broadly recognized as experts within the real estate organization and in our marketplace. Our networks consistently deliver value and are proven an environment that supports individual business growth. We develop resources and infrastructure necessary to fulfill our mission and realize our vision. The core value and strengths pass the test of time. A look at some important data points revealed that the Women's Council is a highly effective organization. Wow, Women's Council members represent only 1% of NAR's total membership. We currently hold 11% of NAR committee positions. This information on this slide gives you more insight into the roles of our membership that play in the industry. 19% of NAR board members are Women's Council members. 28% reporting playing a leadership role in their community. 74% of members agree that council involvement has made them a stronger leader. 30% of local and state presidents are council members. Many women council members go on to assume local government positions and fill key corporate positions, leadership within Women's Council, and often stepping stone into the leadership roles within the larger realtor organization. Women's Council continues to surpass goals of development business leaders with a strong emphasis on women. Membership in the Women's Council Realtors is hands-on. This is a place where business realtors take on leadership roles and get practical experience, building skills in consensus building, running a meeting or an event, public speaking, team building, and motivating colleagues. It's also a safe zone to learn. It's also a safe zone to get tongue-tied. You don't have to be perfect to do this. Beyond leadership, being a member of the Women's Council generates business, plain and simple. Data with our member survey proves this out. The average income of the Women's Council member is $134,000. To compare to all residential realtors, we look at the median income. Women's Council members make more than $47,000 per year, and that's more than the typical realtor defined by NAR. Additionally, our members have an average of 16.7 years experience, higher than the NAR average of 10 years. Whether we are new or experienced, the Women's Council can meet the needs of various experience levels as an organization that supports camaraderie and mentorship. The council members' business continues to grow. We've seen at the attached infographic that sales volumes medium is up 20% in 2 years, with an average growth by over 2 million annually since the last time we did this survey. We have not updated this. I did speak to Olivia at Nationals, and this should be updated this year. Clearly, this demonstrates that our membership profile is not a group that attracts part-timers or people who dabble in real estate. In closing, we are the Women's Council of Realtors, and we are the 12th largest trade organization in the nation. We're the only women's organization that is inside the NAR. So when I tell you that you have a strong family around you to support you, help you grow, move forward, that's what we do. If we don't know the answer, we will get the answer for you. I want you to know that you are our boots on the ground, and we're here for you. Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing, Tammy. Thank you so much.
And I try not to get emotional, I swear I do, but sometimes it just comes out. It has really catapulted my career. And being able to give these presentations and talk about the history of 83 years, we have surpassed so much, and everybody thought we were going to go under with this pandemic, but we again stepped out within, I want to say, 72 hours of this pandemic and started taking Zoom to a whole new level. Who knew about Zoom? I hate these cameras. I want to be in person, but this is what we have for right now. But we didn't roll down and just crawl under a bridge. We took it by both hands and ran with it. So I want you to know, Texas, you're one of our largest states. I want to see you take those numbers to the next level, because you, every one of you, are the boots that are on that ground, which is why I still serve on my state level. I never want to lose that heartbeat, because you are the heartbeat of Women's Council, and we're here for you no matter what you need. And Missy knows that. We've spoken for over 1.5 years now. And when she calls, I call back. When she texts, I text back. I'm going to answer your calls. I'm an accessible leader for you. And that's the whole reason I went on to the National Executive Committee, was to make a change. I'm not the best speaker, but I tell you, I've got the most heart. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God, you're absolutely amazing, Tammy. And literally the hairs on my arm are like just, they're
It's
standing up.
amazing. It's amazing to know the numbers that Women's Council put. I didn't even talk about our RPAC numbers. We're the largest contributor in RPAC. The Women's Council, we not only have a seat at the table, we have a place and have a voice at that table because of what we give. Okay. So you have a strong family behind you, a strong network of women. I want you to remember that.
Thank you so much, Tammy. We do appreciate that.
Thank you.
One moment. We are going, without further ado, because we have Rebecca Byers that is on our call as well. And she, of course, is going to discuss with us member benefits. So Rebecca has been a San Antonio realtor for 15 years with Brick and Stone Realty. She loves helping her clients turn their dreams into a reality, no matter what challenges they encounter. She is an active member of numerous councils and committees in the real estate industry, including TREPAC, Independent Real Estate Professionals, and Association of Real Estate Asian Americans, just to name a few. She loves spending time with her friends and family, dining out, or taking a weekend road trip around Texas. And that's absolutely because she actually had taken a couple of trips to DFW, and I have had the great opportunity and fortune of going and being in her presence. So without further ado, Rebecca, please tell us about our member benefits.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm kind of giggling because I'm listening to Tammy's presentation, and I thought, well, what am I here for? She's covering it all. I don't know, Missy, is it possible that I can actually? I don't even. It's okay. I was. Do you want to do screen share?
Yes, just go to share screen, and then it should populate what's in the background that you're wanting to share.
Okay, can y'all see that?
Not yet.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, it's okay, Missy, I promise.
Fine, take your time.
I don't know, let's see, hold on one sec. Let me see if I can get this to share.
And if you'd like, if you want to send it to me, Madam District Vice.
How does that, there we go. Go me. All right, so I'm here to discuss the benefits of being a Women's Council member. I want to say, people always ask why Women's Council. And what I say is really it's about the business leadership training. As Tammy had said, really Women's Council took me to that next level. I didn't know I needed a next level until I got with Women's Council. So I will say that Women's Council offers such a great opportunity for our leaders. Additionally, like Tammy said, there's an income average is high, and we are a top referral network, not to mention the connections and our member benefits, which I'm going to go over right now. So I want to say across the country, we are, again, the largest infrastructure in real estate with 12,000 members, and we are still growing. Now, across the countries, networks work with the local associations to bring industry events of value, including education, leadership skills, and of course, our favorite, networking. As far as education, Women's Council offers an array of education. Everyone is looking to better not only themselves or their teams and their business, but themselves also. And with over 1,500 events annually, technology has made it possible for us to visit through Zoom or a hybrid, which is people in person, and we're also on Zoom. Now, with that being said, there are so many events that across the nation we're having that they can meet anybody's needs. If you're looking for education, if you're looking how to market, how to use Canva, you're just trying, you just want to go to a social event and meet members across the country, there is something for everyone. And they fit everybody's, not only their needs, but their time schedules too. Because in the different time zones, of course, we start later than California does. El Paso, there's always a running joke with El Paso because we'll say at 3 o'clock and we all say, well, 3 o'clock El Paso time or our time. But there's different time zones. And I will say, I have met plenty of women's council members across the country. Now, with our education, of course, we build those leaders. And we have 23% of NAR's committee positions with 30% of NAR's board of director positions. And that's only on a national level. I know locally, each network has a strong presentation of council members with their real estate industry. And to highlight the participation of RPAC, I will say for me, I've been in the business 15 years. I have not been an RPAC participant all those years, simply because I didn't understand what it was. It was for San Antonio. It's, you can pay for, you can invest on your dues and, okay, I'll invest whatever. I had no clue what RPAC does. And again, it was Women's Council. I want to say it was Tom Gallagher that was speaking. And all of a sudden it just made sense to me. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, I need to be part of RPAC. I want to be part of TREPAC. So as of June 2020, Women's Council had invested 1.15 million total to date. So the year, not in the 83 years. But we have such a strong presence with Women's Council being on TREPAC or RPAC. And like Tammy says, we have a voice. And we have a voice because, again, part of council just brings those things that maybe you don't understand or what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And it just takes one of those people in council to just turn you. And it can be anything. I mean, I was truly surprised about RPAC. I genuinely didn't know. And once I found out, I was all in. Now let's get down to talking about why Women's Council are referral source. So how do we get there with our business? Of course, it's the sphere of influence, it's lead generation, it's organic leads. But did you know that a referral source is right here with Women's Council? I can say for me, I joined leadership in 2018. And since 2018, I have been one side of either receiving a referral or sending a referral 8 times. And of course, there's members that will do more. There's members that do less. But as with anything, you get out of it what you put into it. Now, our referrals are powered by Radius. And the only true advice I can give you is to complete and update your profile. Always. There is, unfortunately, it is a little frustrating when you're looking in an area, maybe you haven't met somebody from that area, so you're looking on their Women's Council membership page to find someone you can send your client to. And it's just tough if you don't have maybe your specialty, a little blurb about yourself. If you don't even have a way for them to contact you, how can you get those referral sources? So you really want to make sure that you stay up to date with your referral source through Radius. Now, I will say, even before COVID-19, Women's Council was a great resource of online and virtual resources. Tammy said how quickly we were able to turn and get back into business. And I do think part of that is because we had already been practicing, not necessarily 100% virtual, 100% Zoom, but I think that we had kind of encouraged each other and seen other networks do it, and maybe our network will try it. And I think that the reason why we were able to turn so quickly, and I want to say seamlessly, is because not only had we already been practicing those virtual events and using Zoom, I think also we are a family. And it was so easy to pick up the phone or text or email and say, hey, Jeanette, I saw your presentation the other day. Can you tell me, how did you get those slides up there? As simple as that. Missy is an incredible resource for doing Zoom. We have nicknamed our Zoom Starling Airlines because Missy runs it like, I picture her, I know she's sitting in front of a laptop, but I picture her with this huge airline display and she's turning things off and pulling buttons and turning knobs. But again, if anybody has a question, we can refer them to Missy. Women's Council isn't just Women's Council, we're going to go have lunch once a month and we're going to hear a speaker. No, it is so much more than that. With those Zooms, of course, once COVID hit, we do have, for members, I mean, we have the accessibility of those recorded events, whether they are scheduled events that we are having now that we are recording, or maybe it's a pre-recorded message, and it could be a message. It could be quick training on how to do your radius. It could be a quick training on how to maneuver through our website. But there are so many resources. And again, they work really well with our schedules, because sometimes I have had days where I'm out the door at 8 a.m. and I'm not coming back until 8 p.m. And you know what? I missed a meeting. I missed a presentation. I can choose to watch it that night, or hey, I'll just, wake up early the next day and watch it then. It's such a convenience to have all of us be able to reach out to across the nation. And of course, I will say, San Antonio, kudos to San Antonio, and that's my home network. And I've seen things such as happy hours, and we did what did we did coffee and PJs last year, where we just got in touch with each other and we just wanted to check on each other. I mean, COVID was new. And so that's part of our benefit, is the camaraderie and the friendships and the relationships that are built. And they're not built, I will say this, they're not built like, oh, hey, you're my best friend through this 3-day conference. We'll hang together, and when we get back home, we won't talk to each other. No. These are lifelong friendships. And so being able to host events like that, where we can put people in touch with each other, it really means a lot, because we're all going through something different and unique, but I promise there's probably somebody who went through it before you, and you will find those connections. You will gravitate who you need to gravitate to. We've also across the nation have done yoga classes for your health and well-being. We've had timely topics such as when coronavirus hit, crisis management, how Women's Council can help in maybe if a city is having trouble with a hurricane. I mean, there's just been so many different events. And that's just a huge benefit to Women's Council, because if something's happening, you can come to your Women's Council family, and we will do anything and everything we can to help you out. Now, each with a member's benefit, we have our eConnect newsletters and our Leaders Made Here profiles, and we also offer our Performance Management Network designation, which Tammy touched on. That I want to just real quick talk about that. Women's Council, our designation, the Performance Management Network, it digs deep and it covers topics including leadership, running a business, negotiating, and public speaking. And I will say, when I started my journey on getting my PMN, when you had to public speak, it was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this, if I have to do that part. Was I really going to cut off my nose to spite my face? So you have to make that decision, but I'll tell you what, once again, council brought me out of my shell, and they got me to go through my PMN. And maybe, if you're afraid of public speaking, that's okay. You're with family, just do it. I think the PMN designation I love saying that. I'm waiting on, I've submitted everything, so I'm waiting to get my information back from National. But I love telling people, because you will have people say, what's PMN, or what's Performance Management Network? And I love to say, oh, it's offered through Women's Council. And that is so huge to me, because Women's Council doesn't rely on other, whether it's NAR or your state to come up with designations. Women's Council took a step out and created the Performance Management Network, and it is such a great program. So if you haven't done that, I suggest you go ahead and join and do that. And we also have the our Leadership Identification Development. Did I say that correctly? It is a brand new program. We are in our second year, and I will say we have an excellent Texas presence in the first class and this class. And I have to say, I'm really excited that My local president, Renee Pretty, was accepted for the 2021 class. So that's really exciting to have representation from San Antonio. Absolutely, to have San Antonio in there. Our state president, Peggy Pentecost, was part of the first class that leadership was put into place. The leadership program was put into place. So that's also really exciting. I also want to say with Women's Council, we have podcasts. How many of y'all knew we had podcasts? So whether you are on Apple, whether you use iHeartRadio, whether you use Spotify, I'm a big Spotify person. If you search Women's Council of Realtors, there's great podcasts with excellent information. They're humorous. They actually speak to you. And I didn't think I would like people talking while I was driving because I like to have my own concert. But I've just gotten hooked on podcasts. So just try one. I'm telling you, this is all I can say about being a member is if you just try one, you're going to fall in love. And then of course you want to make sure you follow us. You can follow Women's Council of Realtors on Facebook. And then also you can follow your local network. You can follow your state. I follow California. I follow Florida. I follow Beverly Hills. There's just a number. You can follow all of Women's Council if you want to. And that's a great resource besides our microsites. That's a great resource also to find out what events they have coming up, because they'll come up on your feed and it's just a real quick click here and register. So that's great to follow Women's Council on Facebook. And we also have a Twitter and an Instagram. So you want to make sure to follow us there. And last, I just have to say, for being a member, and again, my membership, I'm sure some of you all heard this, probably the 50th time you heard this. I joined because someone told me to join. She didn't say, hey, come with me. She didn't say, oh, you should. She just said, she pointed at me and she said, WCR.org, register. And I said, okay.
You're voluntold.
I was told. I was voluntold. And I said, okay. And then I started to look into it and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. They want me to speak. They want me to make friends. What? Again, it pulled me out of my shell, and it was probably the best thing that happened to me, because that first year I sat back, and that second year, okay, I'll be on a committee. And then by the third year, I was like, oh, how do I get on the line? And so it is truly a great family. It is a way to sharpen and build your leadership skills. It is a way to build your referral source. It is a way to help you grow your business, grow a team if you want to grow a team. Not to mention when we have our national conference and our mid-year and our state meetings, there are so many opportunities to hear speakers, to hear other women council members about their journey. So if you haven't joined, I 100% encourage you to join. It is the best investment I've had while I've been a realtor. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for all of that information. And you are absolutely correct. There's just, as I'm sure that y'all will, y'all have seen from what you have seen from Tammy, what you have heard from Rebecca, that there is just a huge array of information from Women's Council. And then I'm going to stop the screen share real fast, Ty. We definitely want to go and make sure to be conscientious of everyone's time. But to add to, because there's just so much that Tammy has shared and Rebecca has shared, Tammy with our history and Rebecca with just the different opportunities that are available in Women's Council. One of the other things I want to highlight for everyone is our actual member savings center. And I just checked that out and I dropped the member savings center in the chat link, but we have actually some new benefits with batteries and bulb. I'm like, wow, we just got that signed on. I mean, I knew about our discount of 15 to 20% from 1-800-Flowers, but we have a discount now with batteries and bulbs. And I need to go and talk with Madam State President Peggy, because we now have with Constant Contact a 30% off the 3 months of email marketing. And I didn't even know that we had that. So that might be a huge game changer for all of us that go and use MailChimp. And then of course we have Avis Budget that gives a 30% off the rental vehicles. And I have always loved, because I'm sorry, I'm sure at the local network level, as well as just as a realtor, we're always doing some printing, and you have your manuals that you have to print out, and your presentations for your events. And I don't know about you, but I do not like using my personal printer, even though it's a laser. So to go and capture that 75% off office supplies at Office Depot and Office Max. I mean, I printed out the whole state presentation manual, and that only was like 21 bucks. And I don't know how much it would have cost if I'd have sat there and using that toner. So on top of all of what we have with Women's Council, with continuing education opportunities, the ability to go and be with top realtors, I end up joining the organization because I'm like a statistic junkie. So I'm like, okay, I don't exactly know why the National Association of Realtors average says, or their median average is 87,000 in income, but I really was that median, and I had the 87,000 income. You mean to tell me if I join Women's Council, I am going to get a pay raise, and the average Women's Council member makes $134,600? Well, sign me up. Let's see. I don't exactly know what that rhyme or reason is, but I'm willing to give it a try. And I can say I came into leadership in 2019. Within 30 days, I had my first referral, which gross commission was 6,000. And I personally sent like 3 referrals last year to Women's Council sisters, our past precious state president, Cheryl, as well. So the referrals are great. The relationships that you actually gain here is amazing. Personally, I'm very transparent about it, in the midst of a divorce. My mom has a medical issue that I was just down in the dumps. I mean, I had no more to pour in on Tuesday. Oh, well, hello, we are on Tuesday. Okay, Monday was long. I had no more to pour in on Sunday and Monday. I had no more to give. And, I was in tears, and I ended up going to my past local president. And I'm like, I need some of your strength. And she sat there and quickly whipped me back into space. Like, she whipped me up just like that. It was amazing. And so the support of our Women's Council sisters, we're a family, and I'm so thankful. And Renee, of course, the local president of San Antonio, I gained a very dear friendship with her. Of course, I have Madam First Vice President Claudia on the line. She is absolutely amazing. She's helped me. Y'all think that I'm a Zoom guru. I wasn't even on Zoom. She's the Zoom guru. She's like, okay, Missy, this is how you make that video actually play sound. And in fact, now that I'm thinking about it, let's roll over to that slide, Ty, because when you share your screen, there is a button that you check to share the sounds. Let's see if we can get that up and running, because we actually have Jeffrey Watson, our strategic partner, in the house, and we might be able to play his video. I just want to see if we can get the sound on that. We can go to the third slide really quick. I'm just curious. I'm being nosy. Does it play when we check that box for the audio sound? I don't know. Nope, no point. Okay, well, if we can stop screen sharing, that would be absolutely amazing. Jeff, I know that you're here. If you wanted to go and say a few words just about your business. Jeff, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, but thank you so much for having me. Real quick, and then Harry, sorry, I'm gonna wipe my screen off. It's a little. Do a bunch of video that really just kind of amps and helps businesses grow, like especially with real estate. Do a bunch of real estate videos to show what you do in a great light when you're presenting it to new clients, new customers, or whatever the case may be. And even for events like Missy's past event that she just had, that everybody there was awesome at. Got to meet a bunch of great people. And basically, if you need media, video, photography, whatever it is for your business or for your event, please feel free to hit me up anytime.
Thank you so much for that, Jeffrey. We appreciate you. If anyone needs Jeff's information, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'll make sure to go and get you his contact information. And Ty, if you can please pop up our slides. We do have Dillard's. We want to thank Dillard's for always participating and supporting the Southwest Dallas County Women's Council. They have been an event advertiser with us since last year, and they are going to go and help us with our fragrance baskets. We will have an online auction on our Facebook business page for a men's and women's fragrance auction. So please go and participate in that auction. You might win lots of good stuff. Alicia, did you want to go and just talk to us for a minute?
Sure. Thanks, Missy. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to hop on Starling Airlines. And the destination right now, you might notice some little travel theme in my Zoom background. We are celebrating our spring gift with purchase at Dillard's right now in Estee Lauder. And what better way to get ready for all those Zoom meetings we have than with the #1 foundation in the US with Double Wear Stay in Place. Or you may just need a new great skincare routine. We have it for you, and we have a challenge for you. You can go to your local Dillard's counter and get a 10-day supply free of Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. And you'll be able to try that #1 foundation for free. And while you're there, we do have a great destination for you with our gift with purchase. It's a 7-piece gift with your $39.50 purchase. If I'm able to share my screen, Missy, if I'm able to, I have a quick video, only 16 seconds. So if the sound doesn't work, no worries, but I will attempt to share and you all can see what we have at Dillard's right now.
You know, we have to go and have our mall. Everyone loves shopping.
Yes. You don't want to see my email. Can you all see that?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay. So because of, I know that the end date was February 25th, but because of our snowpocalypse here in Texas, we've actually extended our gift with purchase through Sunday. So you can either, if you're not able to make it in, give your local Dillard's Estee Lauder counter a call and they'll be happy to ship it to you. Or we, of course, we love to see you in person and get you that 10-day supply of Double Wear Stay in Place. And Missy also had a wonderful event that's coming up soon. It's a wellness event, and I know that we will be there. So to support and talk about all things skincare. So we'd love to see you in person as well.
So Alicia actually let the cat out of the bag. Our next event is going to be on Tuesday, March the 23rd. We have talked about going and having it as hybrid. For sure, it is going to be online. And it's a part of our 4-part series in dedication to the memory of our sister, Sonia Vasquez, which has passed away. The first part of this series is going to be Living Green is the New Black. And so, of course, it's all about health and wellness. We are looking to go and have that at Resurgence Wellness Spa. They actually have a Starling bag, which has that great IV drip. You get a discount for that. You know, I'm all about that energy. Everyone's like, Missy, you're like the Energizer Bunny on crack. How do you get that energy? Well, shh. My it is Resurgence Wellness, okay? They give me that energy. I have a 3-year-old. I have to catch up with them. I'm an old woman now. I'm 41. And I know they say like, oh my gosh, 41 is young, but it's not young when you have a 3-year-old to sit there and go and try to run and catch up with. So thank y'all so much. We definitely do appreciate you. Dillard's, Estee Lauder, they're going to be there to go, and they're talking about wellness because, of course, our largest organ is the skin. So they're going to be a part of that. So stay tuned for more information. I'm so happy to see Claudia. Claudia, I see you all the time on Facebook. Thank you so much for coming to our membership mixer. I'm glad to see you. I mean, I know that you're not on video, Jen, but our Madam Treasurer is on the call as well. And so good to see you and Kim, C, and Crystal. Of course, you know, I'm always so happy to go and see you here. So thank y'all so much for coming and appreciate it. And is there anything that you wanted to go and bring from state, Claudia? Thank you for putting your information in the chat. Jeff's information is in the chat to get in touch with him. I'm so sorry. Go ahead, Claudia.
No, I'm just honored to be here with you. Thank you so much for posting this in public and inviting everybody. I just want to remind your network that we're having that state membership contest. And I know El Paso has already said that they are going to win, but I don't know, Southwest Dallas, you know, and in case you all don't know, if we reach our goal in 2022 that we have, our current president, Peggy Pentecost, is going to paint her hair purple. I mean, we want to see her in purple hair. So Southwest Dallas, go out there and you know, Missy has been doing a fabulous job since last year when she took over several different positions. This young lady is not a quitter. You're not an old lady. If you're old, I'm ancient, so don't say that. You are not, she is not a quitter. You guys have an excellent leader in Southwest Dallas. She is a go-getter. She's always looking to do things and make things better for her members. And you all work with her. You're going to learn so much from her. She is such an exciting, great young lady, great leader. And I know she's going to want to get that contest. I know she is. And you know, when Missy sets her team on something, she's going to get it. But if there's anything else that I can help you all with at the state level, please, by all means, count on me. And just keep inviting me, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be there for you every step of the way. Great job, Rebecca. Thank you so much, Miss Tammy, for joining us. I am also glad to see California's here. I saw Miss Sylvia Siebel earlier, but you guys have an awesome, awesome network. And all I can say is go get them. Go get them, Missy and Southwest Dallas. Thank you
so much, Claudia. Thank you so much for coming. We definitely appreciate you. You are absolutely amazing. And if I have anything to go and contribute to Southwest Dallas, it definitely was under your leadership because you certainly were my governor. So thank you for that. Thank you for everything that you poured into me. Jen, of course, Jen, my guru, I couldn't even sit there and go, and I didn't know how to put a link into MailChimp. She helped me with that. I was having so much trouble last year, and it was like, Missy, all you had to do is just one thing. So Jen, is there anything that you wanted to say before we got off?
No, ma'am. Basically, you're doing very good, Miss Missy. What the whole network is doing very good. Women's Council is it's a stepping stool. We learn a lot. We reach out to each other. Like I know Missy and I worked on a big project last year for state with the annual conference, and we were texting, emailing, calling 12, 11 o'clock at night, just, hey, we got to get this ready. We both learned a lot. We thought we knew how to host it. I mean, how to turn on a Zoom meeting, but we learned. And Women's Council, I mean, Why not be a member? What is the reason not to be a member? There's no reason. There really is not a reason. Why won't you want to be in a group full of professional men and women? Everything that Women's Council has to offer, I mean, $194 a year, that's nothing. That's what, how many Starbucks in a week? I mean, break it down in a monthly payment. 194 is change for everything that you get out of it, for the friendships that you get out of it, for the professionalism, for the education. I mean, right now being virtual, we're able to visit all networks at one point or another, without having to travel. Right now, I'm not on camera. I'm in my PJs. My hair is up in ponytails, but I am here. What better way to be in a room full of men and women? I see Mr. Jeffrey on the call, and hearing things about each other, learning things about each other. I mean, like Miss Rebecca said, I was voluntold, but if you think about it, you can always say no. So if you were voluntold, doesn't mean that you were forced to do something. But you can always turn around and say no. So I am grateful that I was voluntold 7 years ago to help out as a treasurer mid-year. And ever since then, I mean, Women's Council is family. We're a family. It's not an organization. It is a family. I mean, that's all I mean, I can go on and on and on. That can be for another day when I'm a little bit more prepared. But Ms. Missy, thank you. Thank you for putting this on. You and your network are doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, looking forward to seeing you guys on the next Zoom meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Jen. We do appreciate you. And before getting off, 2 things, and I promise you we'll go. Tammy Knoll is running for 2022 National. Tammy, what are you? Hold on, let me go right over here because I want to make sure you are running for National Treasurer, correct? Yes, she is running for National Treasurer. So if you are a local president, hint, hint, Renee. hint, Claudia. This is who we need to be going and voting for because she's absolutely amazing. And before we go, Renee, when's your next event?
My next event is tomorrow at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Central Time, not 11 a.m. El Paso time. So it's 10 a.m. El Paso time. For those in El Paso, hint, hint. We are having our next event tomorrow at 11 a.m., which is Michael Gerton is, well, he's amazing. So he's going to be speaking on ways to basically improve and save on your taxes, your real estate taxes. And as a realtor, I mean, you don't want to